We love to defend. Well, yeah, we used to defend. Paul would say that. We love to defend.
You making Pablo happy with that quote right there, boy. That's one he's gonna love that. Like, get that to Pablo.
I'd say, do we love to
You talk
defend?
about like some coach's pet stuff right there. We love to defend. We love to
Straight up.
press.
You say he flip flopping on who's leading the team of minutes. He trying to make sure that he leads the team of minutes. You want Pablo to watch this episode so bad.
For the next 10 years. For the next 10 years, I like to defend and press. Putting that out there.
This is New Ground with Allen Hopkins Jr. Let's go. And Jalil Anibaba.
Helping us cover New Ground today is clearly one of the breakout stars in Major League Soccer in 2024, and just an all-around good person, Emeka Eneli. Emeka, welcome to New Ground.
I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you so much.
Well, first, before we get into so much to unpack about your story, about the team this year, Jalil and I are Nigerian. I am less obvious than Jalil through our government names. But as Jalil said to me, he said, no, I don't want to just hear him say his full name. He wants to hear your village name. So please do put everyone on it. Give us the full version of your name.
The full, I'll even give the middle names as well. It's Chukwuemeka Somto Ukachi Eneli. My full name. Chukwuemeka Somto Ukachi Eneli.
Do you know the meanings of them as well?
Yes,
or?
it's Chukwuemeka means God is beautiful. God is beautiful, which he is. So thankful for that. The reason why I'm in this place right now. So yeah.
Bless up. This is what I like to hear.
Your story, Emeka, is one from the outside, looks like an overnight sensation, a meteoric rise, a hockey stick sort of growth curve, but we all know nothing happens by accident. And we certainly understand that you put in a lot of work to get here. Why has it popped for you at Real Salt Lake in these last couple of seasons, in your opinion?
I think the biggest thing for me, I think I would have to say the trust from my coaches and the organization. I mean, Pablo, the head coach in general, I think he's definitely a very tough coach, but I think you need that when you're trying to achieve something great in anything in life. And even though he's very tough, I think he's pushed me to some limits that have been very hard this season and last season as well. But that's allowed me to, I think it's allowed me to progress super quickly in the professional setting. And I think just as that continues, our relationship continues to grow, my relationship with other players at Real Salt Lake, other staff members at Real Salt Lake continues to grow. Hopefully they can progress me even further in my playing. So.
Yeah, Emeka, it's interesting that the first thing that you mentioned is the trust from the managers. I think a lot of people don't understand that you need your manager to believe in you to even step on the field for people to know who you are. But in my generation, when I was growing up, when I was just a little bit younger than you, Pablo Mastroeni was one of the best midfielders in the U.S. men's national team setup at that time. And I came into league playing against him. So since you played the exact same position as him, how much have you been able to fortify your relationship with him? How much does he pull you aside and coach you as a central midfielder that he was?
Yeah, that's definitely been a big theme about it. Focusing on the little tiny details. I remember, especially in preseason, because last season I came in kind of wanting to play 6 or an 8, but then, things don't always go your way when you're first trying to you want to get on the field. So I started playing right back mainly all of last season. I think most of my minutes were at right back. But then this preseason and this season is where I started to play central midfield. I remember this preseason, I felt like Pablo was on me really tough. Every little detail, I was checking my shoulder, my body position. I remember the one thing he said, like, your number should never be facing either of the goalkeepers. It always has to be sideways on so you can receive it and know what you're going to do with it when you get it. And just all those little tiny things, especially in preseason, he harped on me about it every single day. I kid you not. I think it was every single day, every single training. And that kind of just got, wired in my brain to try and play that way. And so I think just him giving me those little tips have been fantastic. And there's another thing that he always says. He says it about all of the central midfielders, I think, at our club. But he always says that all of us here, including myself, we all had more talent than Pablo. I don't know if that's true. I didn't really watch Pablo back in his days, but the thing that Pablo had was he had just this killer mentality and this killer instinct that he never wanted to lose. And no matter what the circumstance was, no matter what the game was, you could always see it in the way he played and the way he carried himself. And that's one of the things that he kind of wants me to work on and grow on, because that's also like a leadership skill, I feel like, as well. And so that's probably my game that I've been thinking about recently, just working on that other side of it as well, that Pablo's helped me go through that.
Emeka Eneli joining us here on New Ground. Emeka, your journey is becoming less and less of the experience that I had and Jalil had in terms of a full pathway to college. And when you think back to just 2 falls ago, you were in the Ivy League, leading Cornell to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 30 years. How do you wrap your head around those recent memories, those core memories in Cornell, to where you're at right now, poised to be one of the leaders on a very strong postseason team?
Yeah, I think for me, I always wanted to go to college, but I also always wanted to play professional soccer. And so it's kind of trying to find that right balance. And I know you guys, we just spoke a little bit earlier about you guys are both Nigerian, having Nigerian parents in high school when I was playing with the academy, their first thought for me was always, gotta go to college, gotta go graduate, get a degree. You never know what could happen with soccer and injury, this or that. So, so I did, and I ended up choosing to go to Cornell. I always wanted to get a degree, but I always had soccer as my forefront. The reason why I chose to go to Cornell was because the coach there. I think coaches really do play a lot in your soccer journey. But my coach there, John Smith, he was the former associate head coach at Stanford. Just came over to Cornell, I think, a year before I got there, maybe 2 years before I got there. And Cornell was you would think Cornell Ivy League just a knockoff team, which is they were that before John got there. I think they had one win the season before I got there, or maybe like 3 or 4 wins. And then John gets there, he gets his recruiting class in. I come in with my recruiting class. And I think the 4 years I was there, I think we had at least 10 wins in each season that we played. So he really just turned the culture around in that place. And it's him that I owe my mentality that I have towards soccer and towards almost anything in life, about basically never giving up and having that steely mentality that nothing's ever going to phase you. He really instilled that as the Cornell culture. And I think there's a lot of similarities in the culture that my coach John Smith had at Cornell, and that Pablo kind of tries to bring here at RSL. I think there's a lot of overlaps in it, and I think that's kind of another reason why I've fared so well, because I'm so used to how Pablo kind of coaches and the mentality that he looks for and the intensity that he looks for. I'm used to that from my 4 years at Cornell, so I think it prepared me pretty well, soccer wise, and then obviously education wise. I was able to graduate, which was fantastic. Meet a lot of amazing people, professors, and I had a great time, lovely time at Cornell.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, it really is, Jalil. I just had one quick follow-up on that. Because you were an academy player and you said something very, I'm curious about that mindset of you wanted to do both. How much do you feel your pathway would be different if you had chosen the homegrown pathway versus going to college for 4 years, that incredible life experience that college has all given us, and how you've quickly in your second season become one of the leaders, one of the captains of this club? How different do you think
Yeah.
your pathway would have been if you had just gone the homegrown route as opposed to graduating from college?
It's a great question. I think there could have been a lot of differences, honestly, if I would have went the homegrown route. I mean, when you're going the homegrown route, you're joining the professional team when you're 17, 18. Like, you're still young. Like, we have 17, 18-year-old academy kids or homegrowns training up with us, and like you look at them and you're like, still really young. So I would have been really young. I feel like I really wouldn't have known myself, honestly, or been able to navigate as well the professional scene and like the things that come along with it, as well as I can do now being 24. So I think maybe I would have gotten to the league earlier. Maybe I could have secured a place, but you really never know. I don't think I was as built physically as well. I think going through college and getting a little bit older, playing a little bit longer, growing up, I think made me have a more physical stature to be able to kind of solidify myself in this league. But then I think the mental side, I think an even bigger challenge. I feel like my coach at Cornell was always saying that soccer it's technical abilities, physical abilities, but the mental aspect of it, I think it's overlooked a lot of the time. I think that's a huge aspect of it. And I think to try and play in a league with so many games, travel, social media now, all those things, you have to have a good mental headspace. And me being 17, 18 years old, would I have had as strong mental space that I had now? You never know because I obviously chose to go to college, but I think there'd be some differences in that aspect. Some negative, some positive, but I'm glad I took the pathway that I chose. But it could have definitely been different if I tried to really go the homegrown route or something like that.
Yeah, it's mad interesting. One thing I wanted to tap in on, you talked about culture at Cornell, you talked about culture at Real Salt Lake. But growing up as a Nigerian kid, whether you're a first generation, second generation immigrant, one thing that your parents are going to make sure they do is they instill the Nigerian culture in you. Talked
Mhm.
about the importance of education in your family. It brings back memories of my dad saying stuff to me when I was like 12, like you be good in school because they will not know this family just for football, things like this. But like, tell us in all seriousness, tell us why it's so important for you to be known for more than just being a footballer and being able to use your mind to not only be able to navigate the profession, but be able to navigate your life at the highest clip possible.
Yeah, I think one of the best. My dad honestly said that one of the best things when I was choosing about going to Cornell, and there were some other schools that I was also looking about going to, um, that weren't as educationally prestigious as Cornell. And my dad was saying like, and that they were much better at soccer though. And I was obviously more focused on soccer. So I was like, I want to go to this school, much better at soccer. Obviously, can still get a college education, which is just fantastic. But I was like, you got to look at everything, the investment that you're putting into your college and things like this. It's not just the 4-year program, the 4-year degree that you're going to go through. It's going to be a 45-year long investment because once you graduate, if you play soccer, once you finish playing soccer, there's more to life than that. Your life doesn't end at 35, 40 years old. You continue on with it, and you have to have other skills, other interests, other things that you can do when soccer's not there. And so I think my dad and my mom really instilled that in me. And then I think me just seeing them, the work that they did to provide for my family, the hard work that they continue to do right now, um, and just their attitude towards everything is something that I've never really seen before. It's impeccable. And so that kind of drives me to want to do more than just soccer, but then to also try and achieve as much as I can while I'm playing and really take it to a whole new level, whatever I can do
Mm.
with it.
I know a handful of people in your organization, Real Salt Lake, Trey Fitzgerald, Kurt Schmidt are people. Siggy Schmidt's one of Siggy Schmidt's son, and Siggy's had a profound impact on my life, and I remain close to his family as best I can, particularly through soccer. And one of the things that's so impressive, I believe, is really the impression you've left on everyone after 18 months. But real talk on the field, you mentioned how Pablo's coaching you up. It reminded me of a point guard basketball coach coaching his point guard really, really hard to get the most out of him. But when Pablo tells other people and he tells the media that he's never seen a player process information as quickly as you do, and he compares you to Diego Chara and Darlington Nagbe, what does that mean for you in terms of where your career can go? Not only for club, Real Salt Lake just signed you to a new contract with a club option, always a club option, Jalil, through 2029, but also your U.S. men's national team career as well. And remember, Pablo is someone who's done it as well as anyone in his generation in the league. So when you hear that kind of praise, how does it sort of lead you to believe that you're on the right path in your career?
Yeah, I think it gives me all the confidence in the world. I think we were talking a little bit earlier, Jaleel, about how confidence of the manager is kind of what can kind of propel you to how you perform. So I think hearing Pablo, say those words and compare me to those players, it
No
means a lot to
pressure.
me.
No
Like,
pressure. Diego and
so,
Darlington, like just regulars, right? Regular degular, as
yeah,
Jalil
just
says.
normal people. Just played Diego past Saturday actually as well. So, but it means the world to me. But with high expectations, you still gotta have to put in the work to get there. Because I haven't done anything so far these 18 months. Those players have done wonders over their 10-year, 15-year career. So I'm just at the bottom of the totem pole. So I think just continuing to put in, the hard work each day in trainings, outside of trainings and games, and just take it, day by day, week by week, game by game, and see what comes of it. Just try and stay humble and really work my way up to hopefully get to the position that some of those amazing players are at.
Off the jump here, you've been in Salt Lake now for a couple of years, another postseason run. How do you feel about this group so far and how the season's gone to this point?
Yeah, I feel fantastic about the group that we have and how the season's gone so far as well. I think we started off really, really well. I think obviously first couple games getting our footing, a couple wins, couple losses, and then in that early kind of stretch, we went on a 15-game unbeaten streak. I mean, it felt like we just had that belief in the group. I think you guys know it when you have that feeling that even if you go down a goal or go down 2 goals, like you're always going to get it back. That during that streak, I just felt like no matter what, no matter who we came up against, home or away, that we went down a goal, we were going to get a goal back. We were up a goal, we were going to hold the lead, win 1-0. So went on that 15-game unbeaten streak, and then got into the summer months, and the summer months are challenging. It's you're 5-6 months into the season. People's legs are tired. People's minds are tired. We kind of slumped off a little bit. Leagues Cup happened, a little break. Then you have like 2 weeks before games with international breaks and things. Just a really choppy summer kind of, and towards the end of the summer where we lost a couple games that hopefully don't come back to bite us. But then now recently, just tied Portland and then beat FC Dallas the past weekend, sitting in second place in the Western Conference. So feeling really confident about the group that we have and the things that we can achieve in the postseason, hopefully. 4 games left, obviously, to hopefully secure second place, or first place, honestly. LA Galaxy's still in reach and distance, and then hopefully secure a CONCACAF Champions League spot as well. So a lot to look forward to, a lot to achieve, hopefully, and we'll just see how it goes.
You said you're feeling fantastic about the group. You better feel fantastic about the group. Y'all got y'all got straight up hitters.
Oh, we do.
When I look at MLS roster specifically, but of course any team, I think you have to have a minimum of 3 to 5 just hitters in there, especially that can affect goal scoring. You guys have just so many electric players, obviously including yourself, but you talk about Diego Luna, Julio. One of my favorite players on y'all team besides you is Brody too.
Yeah.
Y'all can just ball. So take us into the locker room. What are the vibes like? What's the 5v2 like? Are cats just dancing when they hit a nutmeg? Like what's the word? What's good? in
Who's running
Salt Lake?
table tennis right now?
The vibes are fantastic. Table tennis is a good one. I try to get myself on the sticks, but honestly, I'm low-key slacking a little bit. Jay Glad's pretty
Yo,
good.
you're letting Nigeria down
I
by
think I
you
just said I
being
don't play. I don't
a
play enough.
bush league table tennis player. No, that's
I don't think I play enough is the
unacceptable.
problem. I'll get
Emeka
on the sticks a
Jalil
little
thinks
bit
he
more.
could have been an Olympic medalist, by the way,
Hey,
in
that's what
table
it
tennis.
seems like.
So
How good is
just
he actually?
let you know.
Listen,
How good is he?
I don't know a Nigerian that doesn't have confidence on the ping pong table. You need to fix that.
I have confidence, but I know my limits. I know my limits basically. I don't know if Jaleel knows his limits when he gets on. He feels like he could get there in the Olympics and he'll be able to beat anybody. But the vibes are great in the locker room. 5v2, things like that. I think everyone's just eager and excited to just play football. Like you can see it when we train. trainings are super intense. Everyone's flying around, flying into tackles. Arguments happen, but I think that's actually a good part. If they happen on the field and then you settle it off the field. We're friends again. I feel like everybody in the locker room is like a good family as well. So I think we all respect each other. We all love each other, and we all want to achieve something special. So I think the vibes in the locker room are just amazing. Spanish, we obviously have a big Spanish speaking group on the team.
You speak Spanish or what?
Un poco. Oh, I'm reconnecting.
There we
Un
go.
poco.
There we
Un
go.
poco.
There you
There we
go.
go.
I can communicate a decent amount with, I think, some of them, most of them, all of them. But even with the little tiny language barrier that we have, I think we're still all super close to each other, super great friends, which is why we've been able to achieve some of the things that we've achieved this season.
You lead the team in minutes. Right around you, and it seems like you and Ojeda are just flip-flopping on who's got the leader in minutes or so. But to my point, you played a ton of right back as a rookie. You started, correct me if I'm wrong, the first game of the season, I thought, at right back, and now you've been in the double pivot ever since. How much has right back helped you become a better player in a double pivot? And when you couple that with your attacking forward nature from Cornell, how's that sort of added to this really fun mix of skills and talent that you bring to the pitch every day?
Yeah, I think I played right back all last season, and then first game of the season against Inter Miami started at right back as well. I think just getting minutes under my belt professionally last year at right back, I think it just allowed me to grow into the double pivot role. I feel like when you're playing in the double pivot, you have people pressing you from all different sides. Well, right back, you basically have the whole game in front of you. So I think it's different in that sense, but it's same in the sense of, your decision making, knowing what you want to do with the ball before you get it, things like that, which is kind of what I really tried to focus on in my first year. So it's definitely helped me grow into the double pivot role, which I think has gone really well this year as well. I think we got a little new tactical approach this year. Last year it was strictly like a 4-4-2 when we build up. So it was 2 pivots as well, but it was more like our pivots, they weren't as close to like our center backs could build out and things like that. We didn't really try and build out as much. But now we kind of build out with 3 center backs and then 2 pivots. So the 2 pivots are really close. So it's just really being good in a tight area or like a tight little box. And if you can do that with checking your shoulder, knowing what you're gonna do with the ball before you get it, your body shape, then you can play that position very well. And then that's just on the ball. Then off the ball, the team that we are, we love to press. We love to defend. Well, yeah, we used to defend. Paul would say that. We love to defend. We want to defend. And so
You making Pablo happy
when we
with that
defend
quote
well,
right there, boy. That's
yeah, I
one. He's
definitely
gonna love that. Like, get that to
I'd
Pablo.
say,
Man,
we
oh
love to defend?
man. You talk about
Um,
like some coach's pet stuff right there. We love to defend. We love
Straight
to
up.
press.
You say he flip flopping on who's leading the team in minutes. He trying to make sure that he leads the team in minutes. You want Pablo to watch this episode so bad.
For the next 10 years. For the next 10 years, I like to defend and press. Putting that out there.
But as a collective, we do try and press well because we try and run the ball high up the field so then we can give the ball to our attacking players, Chicho, Diego, Diogo, Crooks, our 10s, our wingers, Anderson, really, they're just fantastic when they get the ball in good positions. So I think it's just been going well.
No, that's what's up. And it's been going more than well. You're in your second year in the league. You're already a leader. You're emerging as one of the names that people are just looking out for on the team scout. What is something that you now understand about the experience of playing in MLS that has completely surprised you?
I think how grueling the season is. For me coming from college, we only played, like our season was only like 2 or 3 months. And I kind of realized that last season when I started my first season here, we got into like July or August and I kind of just hit a wall. Like not necessarily
normal.
physically, but mentally, I was just like, geez, man, like this is long. We still have 3 months to go. Like, yeah, I didn't realize, like, I feel like, because when you just watch it on TV and you see them, all you see when you watch it on TV is players turning up for the game. You don't see them training. You don't see them like in the gym. You don't
said
see
the
any of that,
walk-in
do
fits.
you?
You
So
just
when
see
I'm
the
watching on
walk-in
TV,
fits. That's all you see, man. The clean whip and the
you see the
walk-in
walk-in
fits.
fits and you just judge their fits, and that's it. and you're like, oh, okay, cool. We played the game. That's it. Blah blah blah. But now that I'm actually doing it, and I get through that, and I'm getting through the first season and this season now too. I'm like, wow, it's long, it's grueling. Um, like you don't really see that when you're just kind of at home watching it, or looking at somebody posting on social media, things like that. You just see the fit pick, see the starting 11 pick, see that they won. Okay, cool. That's it. Everything's good, but it's really not. It's really grueling, and I didn't realize how tough it was going to be on me like that. I enjoy it honestly, but I just didn't realize that it's going to be like this tough.
What is your absolute most favorite part about the experience of being a footballer, professional footballer?
I think I would probably say two things. I think it would be the just the vibes and the relationships in the locker room. Man, like I think last year I was a little bit more timid. I think it was kind of just my first year in the league. I didn't really know anybody as much. But then as I grown and made some relationships with some people on the team, it's just a good time, going into training and just seeing the guys every single day. Like I feel like I've talked to some retired pros, and they say that's the one thing they miss the most is just the locker room vibe. So I just want to I completely love that right now, and don't want to overlook it. And then my second thing would be I love playing I love playing at home, but I love playing on the road. Just some hostile fans. Just it kind of just gets me going for the game. When you like score a goal and you're celebrating in front of in the away end, or you make a tackle um when you're playing away. It just fires me up, and it's just fun to see all those cities and those fans, watching you play soccer. Like it's something that I wouldn't trade for anything. I just really enjoy that.
That's why Pablo love you, because you were trying to find the words to describe what Pablo was like as a player. He was a dog.
Yeah,
He was a
that's what
straight
I've
up
heard.
dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, keep all of that fire inside of you alive. It'll never hold you back.
Emeka, is there a post game moment since you've been in the league where you're like, "Mama, I made it"? Is there someone who dapped you up after the game, or someone who said something like to NFL rookie quarterbacks or something? Did anyone sort of give you that wink and a nod, like, "Yeah, this is my time. This is where I'm meant to be. God is good. Let's go get it"?
You know what? One that actually just happened recently um, was Mark Anthony K. Actually, he plays for the Reds. When I was a rookie, we had the rookie symposium down in Orlando. And he probably doesn't even remember me. Probably doesn't, I don't even know, but he spoke there actually. I think part of the MLSPA maybe, but he gave me into all of us draftees, which was probably about like 95 of us. Fast forward now, it's been about probably a little bit more than a year and a half. We played the Revs at home. I think about 2 weeks ago, we ended up winning 2-0. And then like we're walking off the field, and he sees me and I see him, and like we tap each other up, and he says, "Really good game out there. You guys were having a lot of fun out there, huh? You look really good." And that just made me kind of smile, because there was this moment on the sideline where I think me and Ojeda were like kind of passing the ball with our heads, trying to like get around. And we almost got it through. And I think I think that's what he was talking about. But I think just him recognizing that, even recognizing me and dapping me up was a nice moment, because since I been drafted, when saw him at the River Symposium, which is someone that I looked up to, great player in the league, obviously been in the league, has been through it. So I think that made me feel really nice.
He had to give you respect after you guys tried to play some soccer tennis and some technical in the middle of the
almost
game.
did. I
That's
gotta find the
basically
clip. I gotta find the clip. Is good. The clip is good. You guys would like the clip for sure. It's right on their sideline too. We were just
oh man. Hey, that's an era now where they let you play. I'm old school, where someone would have came for you in some sort of 2-foot fashion, but you can't do that these days for sure. Hey, last thing we get you out here, Emeka. 4 games left. You guys are in the postseason. You guys still have a shot at your goals, which is winning the conference if you win out and get some help. What's your mindset like, knowing that you've been to the postseason before, you know what to expect, and how the group is preparing here the last month of the season?
Yeah, I think we know. Actually, the postseason, we know how important playing at home is, honestly. So getting the top 4 spot, like we made the postseason last year, we just missed out on the 4 spot, 5th spot, ended up having to play Houston away, which is a tough place to play, obviously, with everything that they have going on there. Lost in the third game. So I think just securing a home playoff spot is definitely the top thing on our priority, because I think when we're at home especially, I think we believe we can beat anyone. And then on the road as well, we believe that too. But especially at home with the home fans that we have, and they've really shown out for us this past year. We've had a lot of sellouts. It's been really loud there. It's been fantastic to play there. But then I think just taking it again one game at a time. Obviously we have a 3-game week coming up, but just our first priority is Austin. Go down there and get 3 points. That's the minimum that we're looking for. That's how we say it in the locker room. That's how we say it when we're around each other. We're not going down there to tie. We definitely don't want to lose. We're going there to get all 3 points. And I think if we continue to do that with that same mindset, that same mentality, carry that into Austin, to the midweek game we have against Minnesota at home, and then away at San Jose on the 5th, and then we have a little break. I think if we can just come with that mentality and mindset into these 3 games, I think we'll find ourselves in a really good position heading into decision day on the 19th against Vancouver. So that's all we can look forward to.
Real quick, Jalil, I know you have one more. You guys have the same birthday. He's born the 18th of October. You're born the 19th. So just want to put that out there real quick.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah,
Birthday's coming
that's
up
from
too.
October. That's right.
Yeah, straight up. Decision day could be a very special day for you, my bro.
That'd be a great day.
Straight up. Yeah, I just got one for you. Like I said, that fire that's inside of in your belly, man, just keep that with you, because it'll never steer you in the wrong way. One of the things that I love about, growing up in a Nigerian household is that your parents, your relatives, your aunties, your uncles, they have a way of speaking power into you, right? So now that you are at what you know as the pinnacle of your professional life, what is something that your parents used to always tell you when you were trying to rev your engine that is now ringing in your brain when they were speaking power into you when you were a younger Emeka?
That's a great question. I think one of the best things that my parents always told me was that you can't necessarily rely on others to do something for you. Whatever you want to do, you have to do it yourself, and you have to put in all of the work and put in all of the time to it. I think was something that they instilled in me over and over and over again. Whether that was school, like when I was studying for something, they're like, you got to put in the work yourself. No one else can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And I think that came from education first. From honestly, when I was studying for like a science test or social studies test in 7th grade, they would say that. And then when I went through the academy and I had a hard time, I think it was 9th grade, maybe. It was when I was 99s, 98s, and I was the young group of 99s, and I was really small then. And they said the same thing, like, nobody else can do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. You got to put on the work. You got to believe in yourself. All of those things. They continue to tell that to me. And I think that's driven me to where I am through education, through Cornell, through the academy, then through Cornell soccer, and then through where I'm at right now at Real Salt Lake. And I feel like back then, honestly, I think about that as like, well, I probably thought about that back then, and I was just like, why do they keep telling me this? Like, this is even true? Blah blah blah. And then now, this is actually kind of the first time I'm actually like remembering them saying this to me, and I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm just thinking about how true it really is, and how I see to think about that more, honestly. I'm glad you brought this question to me, because I feel like I can drive you places. It can take you anywhere. So that's just something that's going to continue to stick with me. I'm glad you brought it back up now, honestly, Jalil. Thank you for that. And just something that I'm going to continue to take in my career as well.
I often say that if we remember the language of gratitude, we'll always know the language of happiness. And you, my friend, understand that. And we are so excited for you. The best is ahead. You're making it happen, putting in the work on and off the field. Kurt Schmidt, everyone there at Real Salt Lake, talk about you first as a person, second as a player. And we know your ceiling as a player is very high. So it just speaks a lot to how you're raised and how you're living your life. So So glad you could join us. We appreciate you joining Jalil and I here on New Ground on Sirius XMSC channel 157. And my guy, the best is ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.